Good evening, guys. Welcome back to the Ivy Cancer Podcast. And tonight, our guests traveled far from so far to come and give us an insight of how cancer had impacted her. It is very appreciated by the podcast by the Ivy Cancer Podcast family. Um, she did not to come. I'm not 100%, but I had to make it happen because she traveled this far. Um, Thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having me.
Could you introduce yourself?
I'm Lorraine from London.
Londoners. What is it like living in London?
It's very busy. Different to up here. Yeah, very fast paced. Very fast paced.
Yeah, it is. I was living in London at one point and I couldn't manage the pace. You don't know the day is different.
You get used to it. I suppose because I'm born there, so it's just been a part of my life.
Do you ever think about moving?
Yeah, now that my boys are older, yeah, it's a discussion I've had with them that at my age now, I'm ready for a slower pace. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah, it is too fast paced for me. Both the girls want to go live there. I don't know why.
Young for young people, definitely. I remember being young. Yeah, I loved London, and especially South London because it was really, really fast paced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, if my voice sound a bit cracky, I am sick. But the show must go on. So Lorraine, tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's in my age? I'm in my 50s. I work for a local authority. I'm a senior education welfare officer. I have two boys, age 23. Sorry, and one's 17. One's graduated from university. The other doing their A levels. He's very musically minded. Yeah, and I live in London, and that's my life.
So you are a educational.
Welfare officer, so I deal with school attendance.
Could you break down that for us?
Okay, so what I do is I try and work with families and young people where education is a barrier, where they struggle to go to school. So try and look into what the issues are, and work with the school to improve attendance because schools are under immense pressure by the government to have good attendance. So it's about supporting the school as well as working with the parents and the young people, putting strategies in place to see how we can get the child to engage back into education. And that's not always going to be in school. That could be in what we call alternative provision. Sometimes schools will pay for them to go to college and things like that. So right across the board, children in mainstream schools as well as in special schools. And added to that, I do prosecute. So I do go to court sometimes when we can't do any more in certain cases. We do have to prosecute.
Who do you prosecute?
The parents.
The parents.
For non-attendance. Yeah.
Okay. So do the UK have a lot of those things happening?
Yeah, we have this there's right across not only London but out of London attendance, poor attendance is quite a big issue.
So do you think it has a lot to play with the parents?
It's difficult. You've got families that it can be historical. So the mother or the grandmother had poor attendance, then their daughter had poor attendance, they become parents, their children. So it can be historical. Sometimes trauma happens in people's lives, people go through things, and housing is a big issue at the moment where families are displaced, so they've been evicted from their properties, they've got to live in hotels. The last thing on their mind is education. It's about housing your family.
But education is important as well.
It's very important. I believe education is, especially in the UK, it's your, I think for me, it's your get out clause to better yourself.
You think maybe that's why so much knife crime is happening with the younger youths?
I wouldn't. I'd say it's because the government's taken away the facilities for young people, youth clubs, the mentors, all those things. So therefore, a lot of young people are idle. Yeah, and so there's nowhere to go. So what you do, you hang out, and form these groups. I don't want to say the word gangs. You form these groups, and then there's rivalry all the time.
What do you think that could make some changes where that is concerned?
The government needs to plug a lot more money into, I think, young people. I just feel like young people are kind of forgotten, and the issues that they're the future, but I just feel like they're forgotten. And I don't know, they're so displaced now. I don't know how you can re-engage them back into feeling like they belong, because I think they've just formed their own, like life don't mean nothing to them no more. If they can just go out and just kill without no thought, nothing. So it's just like you have to wonder how they see themselves. Yeah.
It's like they gave up.
I just think life doesn't mean nothing to them. There's no future, there's no prospects in their eyes, and I don't know where that's come from, but I just feel like it's just the government just not investing in them.
Okay. I think it is not just in the UK. I think it's a widespread thing.
Absolutely.
Because it do happen in the country where I'm from as well. The youths get less attention.
Yeah.
And the youths are the ones who committing the violence.
Absolutely.
And a lot of them, as you said, do not have any homes.
Yeah.
They probably lost their parent from a younger age, growing up with an auntie or a grandma, and that absence from our parents, plus the government do not provide a means for them, So it's just a widespread thing.
Yeah, and I think with boys in particular, I do think it's really important that there is a positive male role model. Doesn't always have to be a father, but they need a positive role model, and that's why I'm saying the government is not investing in mentors where there's really positive positive men out there that can be a positive role model. And yeah, it's difficult because people are forming their own sort of mentoring group, but they're doing it off their own back. They're not being funded, so and it's needed. So whether it's here in the UK or in the Caribbean or wherever, it's like these young people are just forgotten. And they're the future, and that's my issue. When I've gone, and the future and the ones that are growing up now, what they're coming into.
Sad.
Very. I see it every day. I see, as I obviously wouldn't disclose, but I see some really, really sad situation every day.
Yeah. So you're here for an obvious reason, which is, how cancer then affect you in your life. You lost your mom to cancer.
Yeah. It's coming up 5 years this month.
5 years.
Yeah.
What kind of cancer she had?
She had myeloma, which is sort of blood cancer. Cancer of blood. Yeah.
Okay. How long she had it before you found out?
Well, my mum always had, when I was little, she always had to go for blood tests, and I don't think she kind of understood it. But I think eventually got to find out that she was born with too many white blood cells. So she was checked. But I think just being that sort of generation, never really asked questions. And then it was, I would say, it's been 5 years now. So yeah, it was a good few years before she started to feel a lot of pain. Doctors, going back and forth to the doctors, they're just fobbing her off. She weren't really getting no answers, and eventually when she was referred, she got to be seen by, I believe it was Guy's Hospital. Then they said, it was myeloma, but they played it down. They said a lot of people have myeloma, they can live with it, and that, so.
So is it that they didn't take it seriously, or they just didn't care about her health?
Yeah, a combination of, I don't think they were sure, because she was kind of between two hospitals. She was forever being admitted into hospital, but they just I just felt like they weren't doing anything. They weren't really looking into it, and they weren't giving her a diagnosis. So we didn't know. She'd go in. They wouldn't say it's this, it's that. So I think that was the difficulty. It's only until she got to guys they said, it was myeloma, and then they started on a course of treatment.
So at the time when they started running the treatment,
Mm.
at what stage it was?
I never ever got to know what stage it was. Yeah, they never ever said it was a stage because they said myeloma that a lot of people have it, and basically you can live with it. So they never categorized it into a stage.
You see, in my eyes, cancer is cancer, regardless of a lot of persons live with it or not. Every cancer should be treated just as cautionable as possible,
Yeah.
because it, a guy that I've interviewed, you probably know him, Michael. When he went to get diagnosed, they told him you can live a normal life, etc., etc. They told my mom.
Hi. YouTube have two ways to push your channel. With that said, I'm asking you two quick favors. If you like what I'm doing and want to support my growth, please give me a thumbs up so that YouTube could send my videos out to like-minded viewers just like you. 2. I've noticed that 70% of you who have revisited this channel have not yet subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. That way my channel will grow. And my promise to you is to give you more content with substance just like these. Do we have a deal? Thank you.
My mom that she have a benign tumor, and it's not cancerous. So all these mistakes, when it comes to someone's life,
Yeah.
I think, in whichever country it be, the doctors or the health ministers should really take into consideration these things.
100%. Yeah.
Because they're telling your mom that people live with it. It's like, you're fine.
Yeah.
And just shove it off like that.
Yeah, and I suppose to kind of give you hope, like, oh, you live with it, so it's that hope that, all right, she's got this, so, we're starting a course of treatment, everything's going to be fine. But obviously, in the long run, it wasn't.
So, how long after she found out that she had the cancer, how long after that she passed?
It's like a blur, to be honest. I can't even say, I think it's the course of treatment that I just felt deteriorated her, really.
The treatment?
Yeah, I do think the chemo and the tablets, and because there was a time when she actually, I don't know what happened, but they stopped the tablets and she kind of perked up, and then obviously they started the chemo treatment. It's such a blur that I can't say the dates, times, or anything. I think it's probably my coping mechanism, but yeah, she just deteriorated. I just remember having to take her to the hospital. She went, no, they used to pick her up in the transport, take her to the hospital. And I just remember that because that was the last day she never came home again. Do you know what I mean? So
she was back and forth in the hospital.
Back and forth in a lot of pain. And I just remember that last day saying, I'll meet you at the hospital. I'll take the train, you go up in the transport. And they said, like, when they've examined her, because she was in a lot of pain, I just had a feeling that the doctor said to the nurse, like, no, that's it. We're going to keep you in. And she never came home. She just deteriorated.
So while she was going back and forth to the hospital, what was that like for you? Witnessing her going through the pain, back and forth to the hospital?
It was hard because I worked full time. So it was like I could support as much as I can, but my brother was helping as well. I have a younger brother. So he was sort of going backwards and forwards. And I'd say he was doing the main crux of the medical appointments because of how I worked. It was very difficult. I would sort of arrange the transport and then he would kind of do the appointments with her. But it's just, always wanted to know the outcomes of the appointment. And I think there's a part where Mum didn't really understand it, like, I just think, as I say, it's that generation, you just listen to the doctors So they have to get a lot of feedback from my brother. So my brother was the advocate really for my mum.
So, how old was she when she passed?
Brains like, so she would have been, I'd say about maybe 81, 81. Yeah.
81.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, they said cancer tend to affect people age 50 and going over.
Mm-hmm.
So people, you know, even though it do affect the younger generation, the younger age group, but you know, it's mostly, you know, prevalent with age 50 and over.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. What do you think is the cause of that?
I don't know, because I was thinking out of like my mum was it. She's got like 10 of them, and I just think for me it was like her and her brother were the first two to kind of, well, say drop out really. I don't know if it's that transition from the Caribbean to the UK. You know, you got to think of the times when my mum came here. There was a lot of smoke. There was fog. There was dampness. You lived in really dismal properties. You worked in, you know, not like now where there's a lot of health and safety. You worked in different, yeah, you worked in factories and places where there's probably asbestos and all that. And I think this environmental stuff probably impacted as well.
Yeah, because in the early 70s when they used to have the chimneys and
That's right.
clean the chimneys
Absolutely.
and stuff, the chimney workers used to get diagnosed with cancer
Yeah, yeah.
more than you
Yeah.
know, so that environment plays a lot
Big time.
as well, and worse now technology that is increasing and all of these things.
Yeah.
So, even though one would say, oh, change your diet and stuff, but it's not only about
It's not
changing
like your environment.
diet.
Your
The
environment.
environment is a lot to play.
Yeah, I grew up in damp. Obviously, I'm a single parent. You know, money was difficult, and yeah, we grew up in real poor conditions. You know, like dampness and properties without proper use of toilet and bathroom. When I was a kid, do you know what I mean? You had like outside toilets and things like that. So there's a lot of environmental factors.
What was it like growing up with your mom?
I miss Lou. It was all right. My mum liked parties. She always had a party. And she loved music. So I've still got lots of her records. She loved music. So there was always music. There's laughter. I have to say she wasn't that strict. I was quite lucky. She wasn't that strict. And that, so yeah, it was good. It was fun. There was a period where I didn't live with my mum because I think with the financial hardship, she thought she'd go to America and try a different life. So she left and went to America for about a year, and I lived with her brother, and that was very traumatic. I'll leave it there. It was very, very traumatic, and yeah, and I think I got really, really ill, and then I think she decided she was just at the stage of getting her green card, and she just decided that she would come back. It wasn't nice.
So, you know, I'm not going to touch that topic because you said just leave it. Sometimes just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, but I can read between the lines, and these things often happens. You know, but I can imagine, you know, you growing up with your mom was very close.
Yeah, because I was the only child for 10 years, so me and my brother 10 years apart. So we've been through the hard times together. There's times when I have a medical condition and being little and being in hospital. My mum, she couldn't come every day because I was in a hospital in the city. So that separation, and for a long time growing up, I had separation anxiety because it's just always been me and my mum. Yeah, but I've overcome that now. I'd say.
So what was the cause of you being in and out of the hospital?
I had heart conditions, so I was born with a hole in the heart, and I don't really know why I was in there so young, but yeah, I had to be in there young.
Okay. So how did it impact you when you lose your mom?
how can I say, that was, what can I say? Mm, for me, it was, I think that's when I felt like I had to grow up. I think though you're an adult, when you've got problems, or if you listen, oh, mum this, mum that, and then without her, I just felt like I had to grow up. I was on my own, and I just, yeah, I think I just had to just get on with life. I think I don't think I've really grieved as much as such because I've got my children to look after. So yeah, I just kind of just got on with life. Just I think I just went through it quite mechanically, quite robotically, through all the process. She wanted certain things done, and I made sure that we're all done. And yeah, and then just got on with life. So yeah, I'd have to say this is where I'm at.
So do you think um, you're doing a good job by trying to get on with life?
Yeah, I think it's the only way I know. I don't. Yeah, I think. Yeah, so far, I think if I stopped to crumble or to fall down, I don't know, would I be able to pick myself up? I don't know. So therefore, I just continue, and it's okay. It's just,
How do you deal with the memories?
uh, I think the memories. It's hard because you get flashbacks, and I still got like things of my mum, like when I was packing up her stuff. I took a lot of her stuff, and I still got stuff that I can smell. That I can smell. Like my mum's home. I can smell my mum. So those bring back memories, and I've got a lot of pictures of her, and so they're good memories. And I think my comfort is that I talk to her, so that's my comfort, and I feel in my heart that she just watches over us.
Um, my HR manager said the same thing to me.
Mm.
She lost her dad to cancer, and she said it gives her comfort to speak to her dad,
Mm.
you know, and that's the same thing you do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Even I came up today. There's that church in town that I always go to. I go there, and sat there, talked to my mum. Yeah, it just gives me comfort.
Do you think it is somewhat of a delusion why you think you're speaking to your mom, or it's just give you some form of comfort?
I don't think it's delusional. I think it's my comfort, and I do feel like her spirit's around me and my boys. Definitely, I know that because that she was very very much the matriarch, and therefore there's things that I still talk to my mum wouldn't like that, and so the boys always know that can't do this because grandma wouldn't like that. So she's still very much a focal point in our family.
That's good. It's not everyone deal with grief
Mm.
um like how going about it, and I would say you're a very strong person.
I try to be. I think because I'm a mother, I'm a single mother. I have to look after my boys, so I have to be strong. But yeah, everybody has their vulnerable moments. 100%.
So take us back to the hospital
Mm-hmm.
that day when she didn't came back out.
Mm-hmm.
What was that day like for you?
Yeah, I can remember. Yeah, I met her at the hospital. He was in the consultant's room, and I think he said, "Yeah, we're gonna keep you in." And mum said, "Oh, you can go home now." So, but I knew when I left, I just saw her just lay down, and I just said to myself that she. I don't know if I was still in denial. Like I'm gonna say, I didn't. When I left, I didn't feel like she was gonna die that week, or because I can't remember the days, but I just felt she definitely was deteriorating. So I think when I walked out, I was a bit emotional, but like just walking back to the station, a few tears, and that, yeah, yeah, and then yeah, until the day she passed, and that was a day. That was a day.
So that day,
Mm-hmm.
when she passed?
Mm-hmm.
Were you at the hospital? Were you at home? Were you at work?
I was at home and I got a phone call from the hospital to say, "Oh, your mum's not well." That's how I think. That's how they deal with it. Your mum's not well. You know, you need to come to the hospital. So I took an Uber to the hospital, and my mum's friend was there. My son came up on the train. My big son. I didn't let my little one come. And yeah, my mum was. Well, she weren't speaking. I don't know. She was gurgling. I don't know if you've ever seen someone pass away, and she was gurgling and was just wetting her lips. And my brother wasn't around. My brother was away, and I was just saying to her, just you know, it sounds harsh. I was like, "You can go. We'll be okay. You can go. We'll be fine."
You actually said that to your mom.
Yeah, I said we'll be fine. And yeah, it's my way of it. I was just like to see, you know, like to see my mum like that. No, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
So you rather for her to just come out the pain.
Yeah, because they were giving her morphine. She was getting hot, but she couldn't. She couldn't communicate no more. Do you know what I mean? She was just like this gurgling sound, and then they said because she was on the main ward and they had the curtain around her. They said they were gonna move her, so they moved her to a side room. They moved her to a side room, and then as I walked out to get a chair and come back, she took her last breath. So I don't know if she didn't want me to see her die, but I just caught her when she took her last breath.
You know, that same girdle
Mm.
song, when I was at the bedside with my mom and my cousin,
Mm.
you know, I said to my mom, "Mom, did you eat?"
Mm.
And she was like, "But I know, yeah, man,"
Mm.
you know, because the cancer was in her brain.
Mm.
So I think it messed with her memories,
Mm-hmm.
and it messed with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was speaking gibberish
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
And I said, "Are you okay, Mom?" And she said, "Mm."
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. That.
And
yeah.
then she started like gurgling
Mm.
as if she was snoring,
Okay.
but it was some deep sound.
Mm-hmm.
So in my head, she's gone to sleep,
Mm.
you know, so let me not disturb her. But I noticed the sounds just getting rattling. I don't know, the sound just start getting deeper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that point, one would say she was traveling,
Mm.
you know, but I think that, you know, maybe she's sleeping, she's just tired, but she wasn't responding.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went, so when I went in the car, I said, "Father, if you're not going to turn my mom around for the good,
Mm-hmm.
just take her out of her pain because she do not deserve this pain,"
Mm-hmm.
you know. And the morning we get the call, like I was so shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew once my phone rang,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that that's what I'm going to get. You know, like I felt it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the phone started ringing. The phone was away from the bed,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard the phone ringing, and I just jumped out my sleep, and my heart was palpitating so fast
Mm.
without me looking on the phone. Remember, this could be anyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like that gut feelings.
Yeah. Fully got
It's
it.
like this is the call. You know. So when I got the call, and it was my cousin on the line, and she said to me, the hospital just phoned her and said the family member need to come at the hospital.
Mm.
So right there and then I was like, something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at that point I want to think, oh, maybe they are saying, maybe they are going to say to us, she have this amount of time to live.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or maybe they're just calling us to tell us that she passed,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And she passed in the wee hours of the morning, like about three something, they said,
Okay.
you know. And they said, you know, they were trying to resuscitate her.
Mm.
But I think she was going from the night that we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
there,
Mm.
you know. But because they wasn't paying her any attention,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't know that, you know, she
Going.
was,
Okay,
you know.
Mika. Yeah, so I think going from there when she passed and yeah, kind of held her hand for a bit and then I left. And the weirdest thing is like, because it was in London, obviously you can't drive. And then I was at the bus, I was on the bus and then the transport rang me to say, oh yeah, we're waiting to pick up your mum. So,
What transport?
like the ambulance transport to drop
Okay.
her home. So they're like, waiting to pick up your mum. And I'm saying, oh, my mum's just died, you know?
Mhm.
So they were in shock as well. Like, you know, and I kind of just said it quite matter of fact. Like, yeah, my mum just died. You know, I was on the bus. I just think it was just numb for me. I don't know, just my way of coping with it, I think.
Um, if I were to know you at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I should ask you at that present moment, when she passed,
Mm.
and I should have asked you, Lorraine, how are you feeling? What you think would have been your answer?
Oh, I think it would have, yeah, sad, because I think at that time I was in my life, I was having a lot of endings. You know what I mean? So not just my mum ending, there was relationships ending. It was endings, significant things in my life. So it was a combination of all different feelings, but sadness. I think even when they called me to say my mum wasn't well, I think I was still a bit in denial of it as well. Like maybe she's not well. You come up. I didn't. When I got there, it's not what I expected. You know, no one can prepare you to watch someone pass away. I have to say, nobody can prepare you for that. So I was still went to the hospital, think knowing that maybe something was going to happen, but I didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. But sadness, I think sadness, it's a combination of different feelings because lots was going on at the time in my life.
So it was an ending moment for you.
Yeah, lots of
Trauma.
trauma. I've had trauma. I've had trauma. So yeah, another trauma.
So were you in denial? Because I don't know if I am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I am. Something is wrong with me or what. Because I am still in denial.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in denial after she passed?
It didn't feel real. I felt kind of out of body experience, you know, like because it's like she's gone and then you have to start preparing for the funeral. Was trying to lock down her home where she was living and yeah, it didn't every time I came to the house, I kind of expected her to be there. You know, you'd open the door and kind of expected her to be there and she wasn't. So yeah, there was definitely denial. There was yeah.
To this day,
Mm.
I still wait for my mom call me after work.
Mm. Yeah.
I still wait for her to text me to say, Brian, when you leave work, call me. I still look for that text.
Yeah, yeah.
When I don't see that text, it's like, oh, she's gone. I'm still in denial.
Yeah, and I think the first year is where I really struggled so much the first year because it was like I couldn't eat oranges because my mum liked oranges, so I just couldn't even eat orange. I'd go in, mum, you know, especially like Marks and Spencer, especially around Christmas time, and like going in. I think when she was in hospital over the Christmas, and I remember, you know, you couldn't buy her much. I'd buy her hand cream. So I remember being in Brixton and going into Marks and Spencer and standing in the queue and just crying. So it just comes out in ways that you don't expect it. It just happens, you know. When you grieve, it doesn't come out. People, you cry, but you can cry anytime, anywhere. You
So,
know?
how do you deal with birthdays?
I think the first year when my mum gone, the first year I went away. I took my son. We went abroad, and I think we've done that for a couple of years. We've just gone away around that period of time. I always take leave from work around my mum's birthday, and if I haven't gone away, then I'll go to visit her. But this year I didn't go to visit her. I don't know why I didn't.
You know what's funny for me?
Mm.
My mom's birthday is the 15th,
Mm.
and my birthday is the 16th.
Mm.
And last year, you know, I said to myself, I am going to treat myself to a massage.
Mm.
You know, go to a hotel, you know,
Mm.
have the, you know, the muscles lined up and everything.
Mm.
And because I wanted to use it as a means of trying to just be more relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
she just passed. You're not going to forget about it.
No.
You know, worst, you know, you look forward every year for her birthday and yours. And while I was there preparing myself, you know, to get that massage done,
Mm-hmm.
and then to go into the steam room
Mm-hmm.
and the sauna after, I had so much plans.
Yeah.
And I get a news. My dad died
Mm-hmm.
on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what's this? So
Double whammy.
I'm dealing with my mom's birthday
Mm-hmm.
and her passing. And I have to deal with my birthday
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that I lost my dad on my birthday.
A lot.
You know? So, you know, it's sometimes it's you think to yourself like how much one person can bear.
Yeah. It's a lot. That's heavy. It's heavy.
So, you know, the use you get, I get this a lot. It will pass. You used to get that?
How can I say? I don't. It never pass. It can't. You know, it can't pass. But I think you deal with it differently as time goes by. I just don't. I don't. I think the first couple of years can be difficult, but then after that, it's because it's anniversaries, like birthdays. It's the day that they pass. Like my mum's one's coming up, and sometimes I can start feeling a bit, I say, low, even weeks before it. But I think it's the preparation, and when it comes, it could just sail by. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, it's here. You know, I think it's in about 2 weeks' time. Yeah. So
2 weeks time, we should be going in
in,
we're going in March. No.
yeah, just before, you know, it's just before, because it was it's funny, it's near my, yeah, I'm early March. My brother's sort of end of February. My mum passed around there. You know, both, well, I'd say both our birthdays, because me and my brother's a week apart. He's February and I'm March. But yeah, so I don't know, you just deal with it differently as time. I know it's coming. I think we just don't talk about it. That's my way, just don't talk about it.
When people tell me that it will pass, just get me irritable.
Yeah.
Like, how can you tell me it will pass? You don't know what I am going through.
That's right.
You don't know how long it will take me.
Yeah.
Maybe it is for you, maybe pass for you, but you don't know how will it affect me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the only child for my mom. Was the only child for my mom. So everything was for my mom. My mom schooled me, clothed me, sheltered me, counseled me, guided me, you know, encouraged me, pray for me. Like, my mom is the only one that would, you know, constantly have me in her prayer.
Yeah. Same.
My mom was my prayer warrior. And she does the same thing for the kids and the extended family. you know, my mom always been praying
Mhm.
for covering
Yeah.
and for, you know, for guidance and protection,
Mhm.
you know, and I don't have that anymore.
I think my mum would say that she may not be here through, but I'd say that she's still praying over you, still watching over you.
You see, the difference between me and you
Mm.
or others
Mhm.
that, you know, pray or think that, you know, mom or dad is watching over. I don't believe that
Okay.
because the Bible said when you're dead,
Mm.
your spirit lay there until the day of judgment.
Mhm.
There's no returning back.
Mhm.
Man formed from the dust goes back to the dust.
Mhm.
You know, so I don't believe that her spirit, you know, at some point or sometime like this time when I had this dream about her,
Mhm.
you know, it gave me some comfort
Mhm.
because it's like in the spirit is saying, I am in a better place,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
and it did give me some form of comfort.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that she's around. I don't believe that she's watching over me. I don't believe that she's praying for me. I just believe that she's just gone.
I dreamt my mum a few times. She came back to her house and was like, "Come in." You know, there's a few times I've dreamt her. My brother said he's never dreamt her, but the one time I dreamt her, I remember that vividly. She was at her in it was outside her own house, and I opened the doors like, come in," but she wouldn't come in. The thing for me that in my head is just like, that's it, I've gone. I'm not gonna come back to the house. And I've been back to the house because there's other new people there now. Yeah, new people at the house.
So revisiting the house after,
Mm.
does did that give you comfort?
The first time, because it's funny, my dentist is across the road, and the first time I went there, when my mum passed, I couldn't drive past their house. Took about a year. I drive round like the back to avoid coming
Why
near.
was that?
I just couldn't face passing the house. I just couldn't. And then eventually I started to do it. And now I just, pass it. And then one time I saw the new family come out and I ran across her and said, I used to live here. They said to me, "Oh yeah," and the neighbour said that an old lady was living there. She passed away. So she said, she said, "Come in, can I have a look?" I didn't go in, but yeah. And every time I pass it, we'll have a look, just look outside.
I think it's the same thing with me. Um, I don't feel the same
Mm,
when I go to Jamaica.
mm,
I don't.
yeah.
Like I don't even have the intention
Mhm.
to want to go to Jamaica
Mhm.
because she's not there
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Even when I went there the other day and I went by her grave. When I went by her grave, there's so much was going on
Yeah. Mhm.
inside
Mhm.
that it just have me questioning myself,
Mhm.
you know. But so like her anniversary is coming up now,
Mhm.
and do you feel any kind of emotional way?
Not right at this moment. No, as I say, it sometimes can happen weeks before. So you just feel I'm just not in a good place. Um, and I have that around it's her birthday in August, but like a few weeks before, kind of go downhill, feeling a bit low. I think it was last year it clicked to me. Oh, it's because my mum's birthday is coming up. But as the day comes, I kind of feel like I've done that grieving part of it, and her birthday comes, and yeah, it's another day. I remember her. Or what I say, me and my boys remember her. And yeah, just keep it moving.
How did they deal with it?
It's something I've never really had a conversation because my big son, he came up there the day she was passing, and he was like, you know, Grandma, I'm gonna make you proud. I'm gonna make you proud. And then he left. I'm like, you know, I've never asked him. It's really, I've never asked him how he felt. I've never asked him. You know, like, yeah. My little one had him on the phone. He was quite more emotional, I'll say. So he was very, very tearful. But yeah, I've never really asked him.
I know it don't deal with my girls, and
Mm-hmm.
they don't take it good.
Yeah,
None of them.
yeah.
You know,
I've
even
never.
though they still, affect.
My mum grew up my boys. You know, I used to do night work. And my big one, he was very because he was premature, so he didn't like childcare. So my mum had him at night, and I'd have him a day. So and then he went to school where my mum was. So he lived a lot with my mum. Um, yeah.
It's the same with my girls. I used to do taxi work,
Mm,
so when I drop them off to school in the morning, and I pick them up after school,
mm-hmm,
I would drop them by my mom,
mm-hmm,
and then I would work up until probably 7, 8 o'clock.
mm-hmm,
Then I pick them up, carry them home,
mm-hmm.
and on holiday,
Yeah,
I never hesitate to ship them
yeah,
to
to
the
my mum.
country.
Yeah, you know, buy my son the games, going to grandma's and that. But then she wanted to do a bit for herself, so I kind of changed my job, and I was working term time. Um, have the boys, by the time I had the second one, yeah, I was able to have them both in the holidays and things like that. But if I wanted to go out or anything, I'd be sleeping at grandma's house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to love when it's holiday.
Mhm.
Couldn't wait when it's holiday.
Yeah.
Pack them up
I'm
and
gone. Yeah.
sometime. Oh, daddy, why you have to go? I need some space.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
My mum
And
definitely.
my mom used to love having them around.
Oh yeah.
So she never hesitated. Sometimes they get on her last
Yeah.
nerves,
Yeah. Yeah.
but she never hesitated.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They were all right with my mum. Because if my mum said they're giving problem, I'd have to bad them up. I said, oh, that's my mum. Maybe that's a bad them up. So that's my mum. Yeah, I'll give my mum problems. I'm gonna tell my brother as well, so they knew not to give my mum any problems. But yeah,
Well, Lorraine, it's
mhm.
nice to have this discussion with you. I appreciate you passing through.
Thank you for having me. Definitely, it's been good. I think it's the first time I've ever kind of really spoken
Yeah.
about it openly.
How do you feel now that you speak about it?
Yeah, I feel fine. I think yeah, it's been good. It's
Because at first, when I asked you about it, you was like hesitant because of how you think you might have felt.
yeah. I think there was that. I was always hesitant because I didn't know. Obviously, I didn't know the questions you're going to ask, and I didn't know if I was going to be, even up to today, it's like, how am I going to answer them? But yeah, just got comfortable.
I appreciate it for passing through. Thank you for support.
That's fine. I've enjoyed your podcast, and I like this, obviously, definitely want to support you. I can see your vision, and it's just hopefully people will see your vision and support you as well.
You see, people would see the vision,
Mm.
but not willing to support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I've been watching that now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing that now because I'm gonna give you a little snips. Like I created um, a committee, not a group, a committee,
Mm-hmm.
over 400 people to the point where WhatsApp was restricting me
Mm-hmm.
to add more.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to send links,
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, people jump out that community like fly.
Mm-hmm.
You want to give me a guess how much people into that community right now?
It's about 400.
It was close
Okay.
to 500.
Oh well. If I make it drastic, maybe 150.
I wish it was 150.
Mm.
It's less than 100 now.
Oh wow.
And people on my WhatsApp are no strangers.
Mm-hmm.
if those, let's say 450
Mhm.
persons that I had to that committee
Mhm.
had subscribed to my YouTube channel,
Mhm.
I would have reached a far away right now.
Mhm. It's going to be at a slower pace, but you'll get there. It's
I
positive.
I am not focusing on people
Mhm.
anymore. I'm not trying to reach out to people to see my vision and help me towards
Mhm.
my vision. I'm just doing this because obviously my vision, lose my mom, and I really want to help spread awareness. And I basically create this YouTube channel for a charity.
Mhm.
That's the main, because obviously if I start getting paid from YouTube, I will obviously help others.
Yeah.
So it's basically a charity channel.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, you are one of them who see my vision. You never left the podcast on a Sunday, and you traveled from London to give me some support.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you guys for watching, and continue to give me your support. Give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please hit that subscription button and show your love. Thank you.